Okay, good morning or afternoon, depending where you are coming and joining us today. I'd like to thank you for joining us for our second day of CNA Center for Justice Research and Innovation's Virtual Symposium. Yesterday, we kicked off our first day with some great discussion around organizational change and development, the role of police, prosecutors, and corrections, and emerging technologies. Today, we are very excited to be joined by the National Institute of Justice Director, Nancy Vigne, who will be providing our keynote symposium keynote address momentarily on the future of the justice system as it relates to research, policy, and practice. We are very appreciative of Director Vigne's presence today and the leadership that she has and continues to provide in guiding justice research. Before we move into our sessions today, I'd like to briefly introduce myself and my fellow co-director and provide you with a quick overview of our team for those of you who are unable to join us yesterday. So my name is Vivian Elliott. I am co-director for our Center for Justice Research and Innovation, also referred to as JRI. I work alongside our co-director, Dr. Chip Coldren, who will say a few words in a moment. If we can move to the next slide, thank you. So CNA is an independent, non-for-profit research and analysis organization dedicated to the safety and security of our nation. JRI is part of CNA's Institute for Public Research, and our mission for our center is to work with justice-related and community-based agencies and organizations on the assessment, implementation, evaluation, and sustainment of organizational and system-wide improvements. We develop and deliver high-quality assessments, evaluations, research, training, and technical assistance, drawing on our diverse staff and our network of subject matter experts. Next slide, please. Important to us in executing our work are our values. We do this through focusing on improving public safety, serving with excellence, maintaining objectivity, serving with commitment and respect, and at all times being an exceptional teammate. Next slide. So our work is centered around three primary service areas: research and analysis and evaluation, training and technical assistance, organizational reform, and innovations in policing. And we talked a little bit about all of these yesterday, and you will continue to hear more about our work today in these three areas. So the centered theme around our symposium is the future of the justice system. Throughout the past few years, our center has engaged in an internal research project called the Project on American Justice, which we will share more about later this afternoon. But our symposium yesterday and today are focused around this theme and five key areas: organizational change and development, civilianization, the role of police, prosecutors, and corrections in society, emerging technologies, and community relations. So today we'll be wrapping up with our conversation around community relations and then the future of the justice system. So before I pass this off to Dr. Coldren, please allow me to provide a few administrative reminders. We will continue to share these reminders throughout the course of our symposium in case we have people who drop in throughout. So first, please keep your phone and computer audio on mute to avoid any background noise. Our symposium sessions are being recorded for you and others who would like to view it later on our website. If you'd like to ask a question to the panelists, please use the chat function in the Zoom. You can direct your questions to the host. You can send a question at any time throughout these sessions. If you're on your computer, you can access your chat from the bottom center of your screen. And if you're on your mobile device, you can access the chat in the top right-hand corner of your screen. If you're able to, please edit your name on your Zoom by hovering over your name, clicking more, and choosing the rename option. And then you can change your name to reflect your full name and agency. This helps us know who you are and others as well. After the symposium, you'll have an opportunity to evaluate it. Please take a few moments if you can to provide your feedback. It helps us in improving our sessions in the future. So with that, I thank you again for joining us, and I will turn it over to Chip.
All right, Vivian, thank you very much. And let me just say at this point, Nancy, thank you very much for joining us today. It's going to be great to hear from you, and I will move us as quickly as I can to your segment on our agenda here. I do want to say just a few things. I very much appreciate the opportunity that we have to get together as friends and colleagues and collaborators and look at some things maybe from some slightly different perspectives and to step back from the intensity of our work to give some thought to these things. This series, this project on American justice, it's an internally funded project. So I want to make sure that I give a nod to Dave Kaufman, our division vice president, Tim Barris, our executive vice president, and to Catherine McGrady, our president and CEO, who I know supports our work very strongly. Watched the project on American justice, work and grow over the past couple of years. I just want to say a couple things about issues that have stuck on my mind over the years and actually over the recent weeks and months that I think are very important for us to be thinking about and working on. One of them has to do with these major challenges that we tend to talk about them in the context of policing, the recruitment and retention stuff, interacting with individuals in mental health crisis, substance abuse withdrawal, and even trauma-informed approaches to our work. I am learning very quickly in a number of ways that these issues affect everybody in the justice system, everybody in all sectors, and I hope that we can develop more holistic, comprehensive approaches to these issues and ways of thinking about them in the future. I also feel strongly, just from some work that I've done, that we need to pay more attention to the role and the impact that 911 professionals have on public safety and officer safety. And this whole notion of climate change. It's popped its head up every once in a while. We actually have some specialists here at CNA that are looking at that issue, and maybe it's because of that this is strongly on my mind these days. The impacts on the justice system in our communities are going to be real. Some of them, I think, are sadly irreversible, and we should spend some time thinking about those. So I'm not going to say a whole lot more other than that other just perspective I've developed in the decade or more that I've been working at CNA is that we have developed a broad and a strong network of connections across the country with line officers, with executives, with researchers, with policymakers, and we have a very broad and a rich practice that we have right now at CNA in our center that covers training and technical assistance and research and other topics, reform across the system. And I'm just so glad that we have taken the time to get together in this way and strengthen that network. And I want us to continue to do that into the future. So again, thank you all for being here. Vivian, thank you. I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Chip. I'm going to introduce now Dr. Scott Decker, who is the Chief Scientist for our Center for Justice Research and Innovation, who will introduce our keynote. Dr. Decker is a criminologist with over 45 years of experience working with law enforcement, corrections, and juvenile justice agencies. Among his robust experience and contributions to the justice research, he currently serves as a co-principal investigator on a study of impact of COVID-19 on the juvenile justice processes and practices funded by NIJ. He's also a subject matter expert and serves on several of our training and technical assistance programs like the Smart Policing Initiative, Body-Worn Camera Training and Technical Assistance Program, and our project on American Justice. Dr. Decker is the recipient of the 2022 August Bulmer Award from the American Society of Criminology for his commitment to bridging the gap between research and practice.